We're going to just start visiting here now.
You got it going?
I've got it going right now. And tell me your name.
My name is Gene, the artist Lysaker.
What is that? What is your middle name?
Sea. Coral.
Coral. Okay.
It's like the sea coral.
Okay. Let's go back. Who were your father and mother?
My dad was George Lysaker, the barber of Twin Valley.
Okay.
My mother was Clara Lysaker Nelson, and she came from Hitterdal.
I see. How far back in your ancestry can you go? How far back have you got a family tree or that sort of a thing?
I have a family tree that goes back to the early 1800s.
You do?
I got it from a Hoagie from Norway, and I found out he was a second cousin of mine.
I see.
And he made a family tree, and we've had a lot of reunions.
Uh-huh.
And we got people would make family trees and bring them, and we pass them out to each other.
Sure. Did you have some brothers and sisters? I know you have a sister.
Just one sister.
Just one sister, and who is she?
Phyllis Graybo.
Okay.
Her husband has the drugstore in Newland and
Holly, I believe. I've seen her there, and I've been in there a few times. Let's see. I know you were. Let's talk more about your history. What is your nationality?
Scandinavian.
Okay. Is that pure Norwegian?
Pure Norwegian, yeah.
Nothing mixed in there?
Nothing that I know of.
Okay. Okay, very good.
But my grandfather, when he came over here, his name was Pedersen.
I see.
And there were so many Pedersens and Petersons around Twin Valley that he changed it to the farm where he came from in Norway.
And that was a Lysaker farm.
Lysaker.
I see.
Okay. Something like Peaceful Valley or something like that.
Sure, a lot of people did that.
Yeah.
I know we've got people around Yulin that there were three brothers that changed at least two of them changed their names. Hildy, what was the others?
Yes, lots of them.
Yes.
When I went to Norway, I went with the Hildies. They were all Hildies.
Yes.
And that was very interesting.
That's right, you did.
Yeah.
You remember James Odell Renslow? He was one of them, I believe, on the trip, and my cousin is Elaine, who is married to, we call him Odell. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
And
I became an honorary Hildy when I was over there.
Oh, you were?
I had my pictures taken with him.
Okay, very good. I'm going to step out of the picture here now and have May sit in here because you and May have a lot in common as far as being artists and those kind of things. So I'm going to switch places here.
Okay.
Okay, Gene, I've had the honor of knowing you now for 26 years, and it's been a big pleasure having you. You were our very first guest artist
Yeah.
in our Northern Lights Art Guild. The very first meeting we formed in 82, and you had just come back to Twin Valley, and we had you as our first guest, and we've had you many times since, and it's just been a big pleasure, wonderful pleasure to follow you and your work and what you're doing and all the things you've gone through.
It was great for me to come down to Newland too because I got to know a lot of the artists in the area.
Sure you did.
Good,
Sure you did. Uh-huh.
Were you going to ask something about his ancestors or anything like that, May? I don't know.
No, I was mainly interested in the Norwegian part of it.
Oh, okay.
I knew that he was...
What part of Norway did your grandparents or whoever came over, what part of Norway, do you know?
My mother's side of the family came from Hallingdal area.
Okay, that's where my ancestors came from on my mother's side as well.
Oh yeah, and they were from All. A-L.
Okay.
And when I was over there, I got to meet 8 of my relatives over in All.
I see.
Because the fellow that I visited with in Twin Valley a couple of years before had looked up my ancestry, and he found all these names.
Sure.
And the hotel had a computer man in the basement of the hotel with ancestry, going through and finding people that wanted to find out about their relatives.
Sure.
And we also went to a lot of the graveyards and found names.
Yeah. My ancestors came from south of Gul and down around Nesbyen, Bedingham, in that area, north of Hønefoss.
Oh, I was there.
Sure.
The new church has been built in Gol.
Sure. Have you been over to Norway more than once?
No,
or
just one.
just once. What year was that? Do you remember?
Around 8 years ago.
Oh, I see. Sure.
And we went to the museum in Nesbit,
Nesbian?
and we also went to a wedding there.
Oh, you did?
Someone from Grand Forks got married over there,
I see.
and they left the church in a horse and buggy.
Uh-huh.
And we also went to the museum there,
Uh-huh.
and they had a log cabin that used to be up around Hatton in that area.
I see.
And the day we were there, it opened up for tourists.
Oh, I see. Now, you mentioned Hatton. Where did you grow up?
Right here.
Oh, you did?
My
at
grandfather
Flint.
built this house
Oh, this is the house your grandfather had?
back in
Okay.
the 1880s.
Okay. And you attended school here?
High school, grade school, everything. And then I
Sure.
went to art school in Minneapolis.
Okay, Minneapolis. What was the name of that art school down
Minneapolis College of Art and Design.
there? Uh-huh. Okay. I'm running out of questions in my mind, so I'm just rambling. Now, let's talk a little bit about your military experience. Back in 1944, or when did you go in?
1943, and I went went to Fort Snelling I was drafted,
You were in the Army?
Air Force.
Oh, you were drafted into the Air Force.
I was lucky enough to, 7 of us were picked to go to cadet training
I see.
from our group that went through, and we went down to Texas, and I
Uh-huh.
washed out the first week.
Oh, you
I
did?
didn't have any depth perception.
Oh, is that right?
So I went to gunnery school, which also needs depth perception, but I got through there.
Uh-huh.
And I went over to the South Pacific,
I see.
and I was on Philippines and the Solomon Islands and New Guinea and Australia. We flew out of Australia. I was on a B-24 bomber.
Okay, and you were a gunner. What kind of a gunner? A tail gunner, waist gunner? Or...
I trained in the States, and the ball turret was underneath the plane.
Oh, is that right? So you were...
And it had to be retracted. When I got up in the air, I had to lower it by hydraulic.
Lower... Oh, the...
Down below, I had to
Sure,
lower, yeah, so
sure.
that
it would scrape the ground when they landed.
yeah. So we had to race it before we landed.
Did that have also a tail gunner?
Yes.
It did. I'm not too familiar with the B-24. How
They're-
does that compare to a B-25?
It's much bigger, about twice as big almost.
I see.
They both had twin tails.
Sure. I'm going to grab your glasses. They fell on the floor.
Oh,
There you are.
Okay.
Okay, we'll continue on. Now,
Nice.
there was something about... Do you know anything about the flying circus?
That was us.
Talk about that. I looked it up on the internet this morning, and I saw something about that. And how were you connected with that?
The Flying Circus was a bomb group that was attached to the 5th Air Force in the South Pacific. There was the 90th Bomb Group, which was the Jolly Roger Group, and we were the Flying Circus, and we had insignia on our tail like circus figures,
Is that right?
and a lot of Walt Disney designs.
I see. So were you in that group?
Yes,
That was your group, the
Yeah.
flying circus. I had heard about it before.
and we had,
Did they get lost or something?
some of the planes got lost
I see.
coming back from the longest mission in the war, going up to Formosa from Australia.
I see.
And a lot of them didn't have enough gas to get back, and some of them landed on the deserts in Australia,
Uh-huh.
and they were picked up by the Aborigines.
Huh.
And
Held prisoner or anything?
no, they were
They were
friendly.
friendly. Mm-hmm.
We flew out of Australia for a while.
You did.
We flew with the Australians. We were attached to the Royal Australian Air Force. So, and from there we went to the Philippines.
How long were you in the service? When did you get out?
I was in for 26 months, and half of it was overseas.
I see.
We had to have 30 missions in order to come home again. So
Oh, is
I had 33 missions.
I see. Uh-huh. Now, you had an experience not too many years ago going up in a B-24 up in Fargo, didn't you?
That was last summer.
Talk about it.
Well, I put my name in for a ticket that was being raffled off by WDAY.
I see.
And they were going to draw names on a certain day, and I listened to the radio that day, and Scott Ennan was with WDAY
Right.
then, and they draw a name of a fellow from up in northern North Dakota, and he had heard me on the air before, and he won the ticket
I see.
for 2 people, and he asked if I could go along.
Sure.
So Scott called me up and said, "I got a ticket for you,"
To go on to B-24.
and it was $400 ticket.
Well, that was very good.
So I went up. They'd almost lift me into the plane.
What did they do?
They almost had to lift me up into the
Oh, I
plane.
see. I see.
And we used to crawl from underneath to get up in the plane.
Yeah, you didn't get a chance to go down in the waist gun or anything like that.
There were no more waist
No, I'm
guns.
sure of that. Where was this plane out of? Where did they have this plane? I don't think it's stationed in Fargo.
I think it's stationed in Harlingen, Texas,
I see.
the
Sure.
Confederate Air Force.
Sure. Sure.
And they took out all the tourists and put in just plastic. So there were more B-24s made than any other airplane.
Uh-huh.
There were 18,000 B-24s,
I see.
and there's only a couple of them left.
Yeah. Now, you had another experience. You were able to fly out to Washington, D.C., weren't you?
That was
Yeah.
the honor flight.
Yes. Talk about that a bit.
Well, I was assigned to go on the November flight 2 years ago, and a couple of days before I was to leave, I had a implant for my pacemaker put in,
Sure, sure.
and they wouldn't let me go. So I went last summer ago in May,
Uh-huh.
last summer, and gone only one day and one night.
Sure.
So we stayed over, and because the flight had gone before us, 2 days was too long for them. They all got wore out.
Oh, is that right?
So we saw all of the memorials in Washington.
There was a couple of flights before you got to go.
We were the 4th one.
Oh, fourth one.
Yeah, and that's the last one.
Well, that was pretty nice. I'm sure that was quite interesting to see that.
It was really good.
Yeah. Okay, May, did you have a few questions maybe,
Well-
if you've thought of any here?
Well, I'm just amazed at some of the things that he's done that I didn't know about.
Oh, I know. That's why, Harley and Kim were here and did a good interview on his artwork and that. And I just thought it would be kind of nice to know a
Oh,
little bit
yes.
about his earlier history.
Absolutely. I knew he'd been in the military, but I didn't know all of this. My, what a surprise.
And I'm sure you have more to tell about that. Do you have any other interesting stories that?
Well, I've been doing losing a shoe.
About the service. Yeah.
Well,
I talked about it.
Any area you want to talk about? Go ahead.
When I first started doing artwork, I was with a publishing company for 24 years in Grand Rapids, Minnesota. And while I was doing that, towards the end of my time there, I started doing wildlife paintings
Sure.
and doing prints. And a fellow flew up from Minneapolis, agent, and wanted to sign me up to handle my prints. So he sold my prints all through the years I was doing that. And then I went into, when I moved back to Twin Valley, I decided to do local type of pictures instead of wildlife. So I'd kind of keep the history of Minnesota and northern Minnesota and Norman County. And I did that until now. I'm still doing some and selling prints of the Norman County area.
Do you do much painting anymore?
Not much. My eyes aren't that good anymore.
I know you mentioned a little bit about your health. I know you have a few health problems. I don't know if you care to even talk about them.
I've had everything.
You,
Yes, he really is.
6 bypass surgery,
is that right?
and I had cancer, the prostate cancer.
Yes.
And it's all cured now.
Well, that's wonderful.
And I have high blood pressure and diabetes,
Yeah.
but I feel good.
How much insulin do you take in a day?
I take 4 shots a day,
You do.
and then I check it 3 times a day
Do
pretty
you
much.
do that on your own?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I hate to have even one vaccination shot myself.
So I take 7 shots kind of a day with my testing.
Uh-huh.
But I was going to mention that I did a book, 3 books. I illustrated 3 books 43 years ago for a publisher in southern Minnesota. And they're still selling them on the internet, used books. And this last month, I have a book now called Willie, the Boy That Wanted to Run.
Uh-huh.
and it's all over the country now for sale through Barnes and Noble and Amazon.com. And
That's the latest book?
yes,
Okay.
and I did the book 43 years ago. Never did anything with it.
I see. But
So
you
now
finally,
I finally got it
finished
done.
You finally finished it.
Finished it and got it
You were
published.
doing so much work for other people that you didn't have time to do your own.
Yeah, that was it.
Sure.
Yeah. Gene, why don't you tell us how come you happened to come back home to Twin Valley?
Oh, I was living on the lake in Grand Rapids, had a nice place out there, and enjoyed it. But one day I got a call that my mother had fallen down the steps.
I see.
And there was the steps right here. And I rushed home, and she broke her neck.
Oh,
And the doors were locked, and no one could get in, so they had to break a window. And they came in and found her laying on the floor with her head in the Lysol.
oh,
Highlights or Lysol,
man.
so she was passing out from it. And a neighbor across the street, a classmate of hers, when she was in school, called up because the clothes hadn't been taken down from the line yet.
oh, I see. They noticed that there hadn't been any activity.
That's right. And so I moved back to sold my place and moved back within a month.
Uh-huh. How many years ago was that?
That's been back in 1980. So
Okay.
29, almost 29 years ago.
Sure.
And I moved into the house across the street, which is a place I lived when I was going to high school. And on Christmas Eve, that's the only day I could get a truck out of Grand Rapids. And it was 30 below zero that day. The truckers had to carry all my stuff in at 30 below. And,
Huh. I see.
and I've been here ever since.
Sure. Do you mind me asking you what your age is now?
83,
83 in 2008. What's your birth date?
May 15th, 1925.
Okay, very good. Do you want to stop and take a rest while we think about more things to talk about, or do
Okay.
you want to continue?
Okay, that's fine.
Let's do. Okay, we're going to continue on taping here. You had a question there, May?
Yes, I do. Well, I wanted to mention something about when he came back here to Twin Valley. It was really amazed me because all the problems he's had, all the health problems, all the other things that have happened to him, and yet he said that was the best move he ever made.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
he's had one health problem after the other. It
Yeah.
really amazes me.
Okay. Anyway, you've never been sorry you moved back to Twin Valley, have you?
No, when I first got back, I would go out walking through Twin Valley, down the alleys that I walked when I was 6 years old, and things,
Sure.
remembering things. And it was so much fun.
Uh-huh.
And I didn't know that much about Norman County when I was a kid. We weren't interested in what was going on over in Hewlin
Sure.
or Clay County or anything when we were kids.
No, it
It's-
didn't pay
it's all
that
Twin
much of
Valley.
attention. Person has more interest in history and that when you get older, the way
Yeah.
it seems. The younger generations don't have the same interest. Now, a good friend of yours, of course, was Harley Softing.
Yeah.
And there was something about the best tree. What was the story on that?
The tree was one of our first trips out in the country. We would go out painting, and we went out one year to try to find the nicest and most beautiful tree to paint in Norman County. And we got over toward between Twin Valley and Ada, and we found the tree. We were going to come back there one day and paint that
Oh,
tree.
Yes.
And they put in a bridge in that area. It was a curved area, and the bridge had the tree right beside it. And they straightened the bridge.
I see.
And we went back the next time we couldn't find the tree.
It was gone.
It was gone. So we never did. So we went out again and we never found a tree like it.
Now, you knew Harley Softing for many years, like maybe 30 years or something.
Over 30 years.
And he made a trip out to Grand Rapids where you lived.
He came out. He had seen my pictures at the art show in Holly, and he had pictures in there too. And he won the best of show. And he said he liked my pictures so well. He called me up and asked if he could come over. So that was 200 miles.
Yes.
And he used to do that every summer. He'd come over for once or twice. And we'd talk about the art. We got talking about the arts. And all the time we'd go in restaurants or anything, we'd be talking about painting and the combination of colors to make this thing.
Right.
And Harley would always say, people sitting around us here would think we were crazy. They have no idea what we're talking about.
Well, I think May would understand what you guys would be talking about. She's
Yes.
quite an artist herself.
And then another thing that he did while he was here, he just mentioned before that he graduated from school here. This was his home. And one year at their graduation reunion, he did caricatures of every member of his class.
Is that
and
right?
gave to them for
How
their
big a class
reunion.
was that?
32.
Is that right? And how old would you have been in senior or junior high school? Or
When I did these, it was for a reunion.
It was
for the reunion
Yeah,
after
about-
high school.
Yeah,
Sure.
it was a
Every
reunion.
5 years we've had a
Okay,
reunion.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he gave them as gifts to all,
that's
all of his
wonderful.
classmates. And then Gene, when you were in Grand Rapids, you used to go down into Mexico, is it Tehuantepec or Mexico or something like that, and paint every winter, didn't you?
I didn't paint, I just took pictures.
You just took
I
pictures.
took pictures of the people and everything. And I started taking pictures of the school kids and they come from school. And the next year I'd bring pictures back to give the kids. I'd make 8 by 10 prints.
Sure.
And before a few years, every kid in town, every house in town had one of my pictures
You
hanging on the
became
wall.
pretty popular with them.
Oh,
Yeah.
that nice. Gee, that's great.
You've done a lot of outdoor painting, haven't you?
I haven't done as much. Harley was the one that got me doing painting outdoors.
And you'd go out picnicking with him, and
We'd picnic and we'd go out and take landscapes, do landscapes. And Harley was the master of landscapes, and I was just a novice. So he'd tell me how to do these different things, and he had a better concept of color than anyone I've ever seen.
is that right?
His colors were he'd have 500 greens on a picture,
Huh?
and he'd do it so easily. And I'd struggle away and watch him, but he did it all the time. That's the only type of painting he liked.
I saw Harley as quite a perfectionist. I knew him more in the electronic field. If I had any questions about anything in electronics, Harley was the one to go to. He'd always kind of know the answer.
Yeah.
And so we did a lot of things together too. So I was a good friend of him in the electronics field, and you in the artist field.
And he told me about his time in Germany or Europe, wherever he was, where he was in charge of the communications.
Yes, yes.
And the government found a house that they could live in, and all the people working in the communications had this house. And they worked out of there, and he said they lived just like civilians. They didn't have anything to do with the army hardly. They just went out and did all the work for the
Sure.
officers, pretty much.
I know he was stationed over in Germany. That was about during the Korean War,
Yeah.
about 1953 or something like that. Now, Jan, or I should not Jan, that's Harley's wife, but May, you had a question you were going to ask?
Well, one of the things he's talking about Harley, and you can tell from that it was his very best friend. And on top of all the other problems that Gene had, before he published this last book, The Little Boy That Wanted to Run, Willie, before he published that, he went through all kinds of things. First, his publisher passed away about 2 months before, or a month before, and then they didn't get his books to him until the night before his book signing. And then Harley, his very best friend, passed away the week before.
Yeah.
Yes, that was quite sad. I know his children made up a birthday song. You might talk about that. You played that when he was here?
He brought the book that his children had done
A CD, yeah.
professionally. They went and had their voices recorded separately, and everything was put together on it. And he brought after his birthday, he brought the record over and gave me a copy of it.
Sure.
And he played it for me the first time, and he sat crying while he was listening to this.
I know that touched him deeply. We were over there when they presented.
Oh.
I was over to his house, my wife and I, Karen. We went over there and they gave him the disc and they played it when we were there, and he really was touched by that.
And he had such a talented family, but his kids were so talented. You know.
Absolutely, in music and whatever they do.
And they come to Kim, his son, brought a group from Twin Valley to Twin Valley every snowmo days in February. And Harley and Jan would be over here for it. And we did 4 years in a row we'd done it. And I asked Kim again if he'd come this year, and he said he would.
That's wonderful.
So you'll have to come over too.
I sure will. I'm going to stop the tape a little bit and we'll continue in a little bit.
Yeah, Gene, you've mentioned so many things that I thought I knew you quite well, but I've certainly learned a lot. One thing that kind of puzzled me was You said you flunked out or washed out your second day in the service when you wanted to be a cadet, and you were washed out because you had poor depth perception. And I'm thinking, how can an artist have poor depth perception? So
very easy, very easy.
you tell us about your depth perception.
Well, I was I waited, rather than enlist, I waited to be drafted. My dad was on the draft board, and I was the first one drafted from my class.
I see.
And we all went by bus down to Minneapolis, to Fort Snelling. A couple of days we spent going through processing. And 7 of us were picked to go to cadet training. I don't know how I got in that bunch. But we went first class and the rest went by troop train. We went down to Wichita Falls for cadet physical training.
Oh, yes.
And we went through processing every day. And one day we went in to take our depth perception test.
Uh-huh.
And the doctor said, now go and line up those boards. And I tried to line them up, and I said, okay, that's where I want to be. And the doctor called another doctor over, hey, look at where this fellow is on his depth perception. And they washed me out. So I went down to gunnery school in Harlingen, Texas after that. And,
so you were several feet off as far as your depth.
I was many feet off. I think I was at the end of the line.
I see. Okay, you won some kind of an award back in 2004. Tell us about that.
I have been a member of the Minnesota Artists Association from northern Minnesota, and every year they pick an artist from this area to be the Artist of the Year. And the mayor and some people in town got together and sent in letters, and I got to be, so I got a nice little trophy, but it's just like my books, they didn't get it in time. So it was blank. It didn't have anything on either side. Just a square on a little wooden stand. So I had to give it back to them, and they came and brought it to me a couple of weeks later.
Sure. I'm sure you know quite a few other pretty famous artists too. Who might be some of them?
Art is almost like boxing or anything else. They're local. You have an area where the championship boxer, and you get an area where artists are locally in that area, well known in that area, but they're not known anywhere else in the world. But I have a couple of friends that are with Wild Wings. Like Jim Casper worked with me in Grand Rapids, and I went on to do wildlife, and he went on to do wildlife, and he got with Wild Wings. And he's pretty well known all over the world for his paintings now. And I've done, like the artist that works for, have you ever heard of Terry Redlin?
Oh,
Yes, yes.
I used to go to art shows with Terry Redlin.
Oh, you did? So you know him fairly well then?
He started doing artwork as an art director for a outdoor farming magazine down in St. Paul.
Sure.
And one day they asked him to do a cover, a farming type of cover, and he did this painting, and it went all over the country, of course, the magazine, and people were asking to get prints of that, and that's how he got started.
Sure. Have you been down to Watertown to see him?
Yes.
You have. So you've seen his new facility there?
And he has Alzheimer's.
Oh, he does?
He doesn't know anyone anymore.
He doesn't?
So he's still painting.
How old is he approximately?
He'd be in his 70s, I suppose.
I see.
He had a motorcycle accident when he was younger and he lost a leg.
Oh, he did?
Oh, I didn't know that.
And his wife handled all of his finances, all of his printing and material and everything.
Is he in a nursing home now?
I really don't know.
No. Now, are you musical? Did you ever play any musical instruments or anything
I could play the comb.
I see.
And I could play...
Washboard?
Washboard. I got a washboard.
Oh, yes.
And I played in the band for 6 years, but I was never a musician.
You never were. But the reason I ask that is you have so many pieces of equipment around here, lots of recording. You can record CDs, you can record DVDs, and I know you can record VHS or audio tapes or whatever you want to do. I just thought maybe, what is your favorite music? As if I don't know.
Country.
I know.
Country.
And who is one of your favorite country stars. Willie Nelson, I bet.
Willie Nelson is pretty great, yeah. And I like Ray Price.
Yes.
Ray Price's stuff is so
Sure,
great.
sure.
I like George Jones when he's available to sing. He misses a lot. He's got No Show Jones is one of his songs.
Oh, yeah, sure. He misses a lot of engagements, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you met any of them?
I have just shaken hands with some of them at some of the shows,
Sure.
like Loretta Lynn.
Oh,
and
you have?
Kitty Wells.
I see.
And I went, when I was in Grand Rapids, Hank Williams Jr. came and put on the show.
Oh, he did?
And before the show, he came out and spoke in the microphone. He said, "This is the first time I've come with $1 million band playing on 25-cent amplifiers." So he wasn't too...
You didn't appreciate the equipment,
No.
huh? How about you were down in Mexico and that? Do you speak any Spanish?
Poquito.
Poquito.
Me gusta mexicano, pero no habla mucho.
I had to know a couple of words, and that was grande and chiquito, because we were talking about big manholes and little manholes, because I was working with some guys down around in Colorado, and they were Mexican, and
Oh.
they couldn't speak English. Okay, do you have anything else here, May?
No, except that one of the highlights of our life concerning Gene was that we had, our art guild had his 70th birthday at my house, and he didn't know about it. And the thing of it is, that was strange, was we invited him and to come as a guest artist, but we wanted him to bring his scrapbooks with him and things like that. And it just so happened that he had a very, very important engagement he was supposed to do. I can't remember what it was. Was it a graduation thing or something? He was supposed to do it, and he chose to come to our house, to my house that night when our art guild interviewed him. And actually, it was more than an interview. It was just 2 hours of conversation. And the girls said, he asked us about an hour into the program, he asked us if it was long enough, if he'd talked too much, he thought. And the girls didn't even realize an hour had gone by, and they said no. So the last hour, he showed his scrapbook and told us all about his life and what he did down in Mexico. And it was the most enjoyable 2 hours I think we ever had in our art guild. And then I had done a portrait of him without him really knowing this was going to happen. And we had a cake, and I presented him with that portrait of him. I
That's
think
now in the over at the museum over here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Jean, speaking of your art now, it seems to me that after your mother fell down, had her accident, and then she went to the home here in Twin Valley, and then didn't you go every week over there to teach art classes? And I remember you had one student that stood out in particular. I believe she was 80 and painted for the first time.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about that?
Well, when I did move back, I lived here with my mother. She had a halo because she broke her neck, and she had developed Alzheimer's. So I lived here with her for 3 years with Alzheimer's when she didn't know me.
Oh,
And finally, we had to go to the home, and so I started teaching the people down there, the young old people, and most of them had never painted before. And I spent 3 years working with the residents, and some of them were with me for 3 years painting, and one was a lady by the name of isn't that awful? Anyway, names is something I don't remember too much, but I bought one of her paintings for $25. That was the best thing that ever happened to her, she said.
Well, that's good. Now, did you have some more on that, May?
no, I was just, I was fascinated with that because I saw the picture that the lady did, and
Ines, her first name is Ines.
Okay.
it was very good. And she never dreamed she could paint until
No.
Jean got a hold of her.
But you talked about the one lady that had to have her foot amputated. So that within a week or so, she was back to painting
Is that right? Huh.
in a wheelchair.
Well, that's pretty good. Now, talk about this Herschel Lysaker.
Oh, that was his cousin, and he was the director of the American Legion 9th District Band for many, many years. My husband was in the band.
Oh, was
and,
it?
and they had a lot of respect for him because I don't know how many years he did this. A very talented man, but Gene knows more about him because younger years.
And that was Herschel Lysaker.
Yeah, his cousin.
Herschel was pretty well known around the country for he did a lot of refereeing too, but he was spent most of his time up at the Cook Center at the Ag School there as a coach. A lot of people from Twin Valley had him that went to Ag School knew him, and his mother and his father worked up there too. So he was Mr. AC School, and Herschel. He got married 3 times. All 3 of his wives died from cancer.
Is that right? Huh.
And
Yeah. Now, back in high school, you were kind of an art director for the Twin Valley Tigers, huh?
I was the only one in the school that could draw a straight line, they said.
I see.
And during the war, I used to draw pictures of the Jeeps with for raising money. We'd buy 10-cent stamps and put in books. So the fundraisers, I'd draw pictures on the blackboards in full color of Jeeps and people driving in airplanes and all this type of thing. I did that for a couple of years before I went in the service myself.
I see. Now, you were quite a basketball player as well.
I played basketball, but I wasn't. I don't know why I got to be on the team even because there's many.
But you were pretty young then. You
I
were
was a freshman.
freshman in high
I
school.
got on the first team as the substitute of the first 10 when I was a freshman.
Now, did you do any horseback riding when you were young?
Never. The only horseback riding, a lady used to come to town when we were little kids with a little pony. And for 3 cents, she'd hang onto the reins and walk us around the block.
And that's the only horseback riding you did.
And I almost fell off, so I decided not to do it anymore.
I know you told Harley and I that story, and then Harley asked, well, how old were you? You said you were 42.
Yeah. I was about 8 years old when this happened.
Sure, sure. Okay, what else can we talk about here? Anybody got any ideas? Because I'm running out. I heard the 12 o'clock whistle blow just a few seconds ago.
Already.
Yeah?
Well, I've been into electronics, but I don't know anything about electronics. I got the first tape recorder in Grand Rapids when I was up there. First one in town, and I got the first television set almost. I got the first color camera, black and white camera, and they told me I could trade it in for a color one later when they came out. So I've been into electronics, but I know nothing about it.
Well, you know how to operate it, and you figure it out better than most people.
I don't know what's coming up next. But oh yes, I did get the vinyl to disc recorder, and I just had that for a week now. Now I'm going to start taping a lot of my old records onto discs.
Sure.
And it will take quite a while to do, because I'd buy records and I put them on tapes right away and not use the records again. So the records are almost new. Only been played once, many of them.
Sure. Well, that's great. This is jumping to another subject, but go back to that Australian Royal Air Force thing you were talking about when we had the tape recorder shut off. You were saying that some of the pilots were even sergeants.
The Australian Air Force had a different system than we did. They went more on longevity, how long they'd been on a job. And a major might be a gunner on the plane, and the pilot might be a sergeant.
Well, that's a little different in the way it works here in the United States.
Sure does. And when we went overseas, we didn't know where we were going. We flew over in 4 different days on the B-24. We almost got lost, and we ended up in Australia, and we were attached to the Royal Australian Air Force in Darwin, Australia, because the Japanese thought they were going to invade Australia, and that's why they put us there. And so we flew out of there for a year about, and then we went up to the Philippines from there. But we used, at our mess hall, a lot of times the Australians would come and eat with us because they had mutton all the time.
Oh, is that right?
And we started getting a lot of mutton, and all of the cookies and everything we got was made with mutton oil instead of lard or butter.
I see.
And I haven't eaten mutton since.
Okay, let's switch the subject again. May, you had a question talking about the museum and a few things?
Yes, I have heard, well, I know that it started in 1996, right? 1996. And I know that also that it was mainly started because of Gene. He says he didn't have anything to do with it, that he didn't build it or anything like that. But I know that, well, I'm going to let him tell you what happened. It was kind of a surprise to him, but I'll
Well,
let him
we
tell
had a
you.
museum. We had a museum in town, which was over where the Arvik television has their offices, and the museum was maybe open a couple times a year for 4th of July and maybe a Memorial Day or something. And they, one of the business people in town, they got together and decided to build a new museum and get rid of this one they had there. And they raised money and they decided to add an art center to it for my paintings. So I didn't know this was being done until they had a dedication. And I knew that they asked me to put some pictures in there, but I didn't know. So they dedicated the art center to me, and the museum has been built up ever since. New buildings have been added, but that's the way it got going.
Okay, very good. Well, I don't know if we have any more to talk about, so
Can you think of anything, Gene?
No,
okay.
I'll think of something in about 2 minutes. As soon as you get everything taken
I know,
out.
as soon as we shut the tape recorder off, you'll think of something.
Well, I know it all adds up to, like I said, a man, a very, very kind gentleman, all the way, and a talented man, and sharp as a tack,
Yep, he sure is.
sharp
Well,
and humor.
and thank you so much for letting us come into your house and tape you again, and we'll maybe do it sometime later.
Okay.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.